seed. So none of these three are going to win a championship again in the NBA. None of them.
Okay, you could say none of them. I mean, that's a cop-out as far as I'm concerned.
No, it's not.
Thinking the
The
same
question-
thing.
it
You got
was
to pick one.
most
You got to
likely
pick
to
one.
win. Most likely to win another title. That's all. So another of the three. If you had to pick amongst the three, you had to pick one. And the Hall of Famer bows out and doesn't even answer the damn question. None of them. Most likely. It doesn't say guarantee. Doesn't say you're going to win. Doesn't say promise us. It says of the three, who's most likely? And you can't even answer that damn question. Well, I will. I say Steph Curry. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't think LeBron is going to leave L.A. And to be quite honest with you, I don't trust Lakers to be able to get the pieces that he needs in order to get him over the hump. When I think about KD, the perpetual unhappiness that religiously gets attached to wherever he lands has played a role. I don't know if he's going to get out of Phoenix. I don't know where he's going to land if he does go now. If he comes to New York, we'll have a different conversation. But I don't know if that's going to happen, okay? Here's what I would tell you about Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors that needs to be taken into consideration. If Draymond Green isn't suspended for those 20 games, not only are they in the playoffs, I'm sorry, I said not only do they make the play-in, they make the playoffs. I don't think they're even in the play-in. He was suspended for a lot of those games. When he's on the court, they win basketball games. Okay, they had like the third best record in the NBA when Draymond Green came back from the suspension. So we have to remember that. We also have to remember some of the young talent they have. Look at Kuminga and how he came on to come up. Look at Podziemski, who's going to make an all-rookie team. You know what Steph can do. Klay had a down year. This is Klay Thompson's definition of a down year, y'all. 18 points per game on 43% shooting and 38.7% from three-point range. That's a down year for Klay Thompson.
Yeah. So, okay. I think he makes an interesting argument, actually, with terms of, Steph and the Warriors. I think the Warriors are better than people think. And so their record and their playoff success this past season is misleading. But with that said, the stamina and the energy that Draymond and Steph and Klay can bring is limited. And it's the exact reason why I said that the Lakers were going to lose against the Nuggets, because AD and LeBron cannot carry that load, especially LeBron at this point in his career. And if LeBron was 5 years younger, then I think the Lakers win that series. But that's never going to happen. And I think now Steph, Klay, and Draymond are in that same situation. They need another true young dude who can take over games. They need the Tyrese Maxey that the Sixers have. They need the Jamal Murray that the Denver Nuggets have. They need, another fresh, younger, real tall guy like a Wembanyama. I mean, Wembanyama is a freak, like a Chet Holmgren. Like they need some of these bodies that they can really consistently rely on to bring not only the energy, but also the talent, the skill. And they need to get bigger. I don't see how they would be able to match up with Jokic, with Minnesota, because they can't be as physical of a team. And so you are just relying on the heavens and the gods and the universe of, is Steph and Klay going to be on in terms of shooting? Are they going to make, 8, 9, 10, 11 threes? Or is it going to be, Steph goes 3 for 10? Because if Steph's going to go 3 for 10, and even Klay just goes 3 for 10, 2 for 8, you're not going to be able to win. They were able to win with their size because they just outshot everyone. Everyone. And now the league has changed really since they were dominating. Everyone tried to do the small ball and they failed spectacularly. And now you have people like the Jokic's, the Wembys, the Chet Holmgrens, the Embiids, and I think it's harder to win in those situations with older Steph and Klay. So I think that Steph can win again, and if it is with Golden State, they would have to make some moves. They would have to try to get a Giannis or something, Or maybe Embiid is unhappy and says, I'm out of here with Sixers. And, get me out of here. Maybe something like that. But I think they would need a true bona fide star in his prime, right? Not at the edge of his prime, not flirting with his prime. Like they need someone in their prime. AD is theoretically in his prime, although it's a short window prime. Jamal Murray's in his prime. Jokic is in his prime. Anthony Edwards is probably just touching his prime. SGA is just touching his prime. Steph Curry's not in his prime. Clay's not in his prime. Draymond's not in his prime. You can't win with players who are not in your prime, certainly leading the team. So they need someone who is in their prime. And it's got to be a true star. It can't be a Trae Young in his prime. Like Colin Cowherd keeps trying to say that, Trae Young should go to the Lakers. And with the Lakers, right, it's do you trust the Lakers to be able to build a team around LeBron? Because I think LeBron will just get more and more limited in playoffs specifically. His ability to really be able to win games in a 7-game series in the playoffs is just going to continue to diminish. It would be hard to see LeBron go somewhere random to chase a ring. Like, let's say the Celtics lost and he can now go be a hero in Boston. Like, I don't see that coming. I don't see him going to, like, Minnesota. I don't see him going to OKC. Like, if all these teams end up losing. I could see potentially a Philadelphia. It is out there that Philly could draft his son. And if Philly hasn't won anything, and they haven't won anything in 100 years, LeBron can go there with obviously some 2 amazing players with Maxey and Embiid. The chances of winning a championship go really, really high because the East is wide open for the taking. The West is difficult. The West, you have Minnesota coming, you have OKC coming. The Denver Nuggets are already there, so that's a tough, that's a tough out. Mavs and the Clippers even. He goes to the East and joins forces with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and the Sixers. There's a chance. I mean, they would be automatically favorited to get to the NBA Finals. Not a doubt in my mind. Of course, the big question always would be is, can they stay healthy? Can Embiid stay healthy? So I just think that, that's where LeBron lies. But if people are very confident that LeBron's not moving, out of LA, which would be a safe bet, then I would say, yeah, his chances of winning a title definitely drops significantly. And that's where KD is actually my dark horse. I think theoretically the safest bet is probably Kevin Durant because he's the one that can float around. I mean, if Minnesota loses against the Nuggets, if OKC, either makes it the Western Conference Final, anything shy of the finals or even the finals, but they just don't win a championship, he could be reunited back with OKC, which I think would be awesome. I actually really hope that happens. I really hope KD can go to OKC and then he could win. And win a championship with OKC. And I think that would be an awesome full circle moment similar to LeBron James and the Cavaliers. KD could go to New York. He could go to Philly. I mean, he could do these things, especially considering Phoenix is a sinking ship. So the big problem is what does his contract look like? And, can he force himself to a specific team that he wants? He's been able to do it multiple times. He was able to get to Brooklyn. He was able to get to the Phoenix Suns. So it'll be really interesting. Especially if OKC doesn't win. If memory serves me correctly, OKC I think has a bunch of draft capital that they could give to the Phoenix Suns and say, hey, you need to rebuild. Give us KD. And they might do it. It's definitely a legitimate possibility. You're only going to have a couple more years of KD, so it's not like you're giving OKC this KD, a 25-year-old KD, where you're like, well, we don't want to do that. SGA, KD, and Chet Holmgren for the next 10 plus years, no one's going to be able to beat that. You're not having that. KD is more of a rental than anything. So I think KD actually probably has the most potential to win because he could go anywhere. And when you have the ability to go anywhere, right, you have more teams that you can choose from. And I think KD is still elite and great. It can absolutely help a team win a championship. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Who do you think is most likely to win another title? LeBron, KD, or Steph? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.